Okay, well, let's talk about another big one. Ole Miss and Georgia. This game took place between the hedges. I think Lane Kiffin kind of gets some flack for not being able to win the big one, so to speak. But when the big one is, a battle with Georgia at home, I don't know that it's necessarily fair to, hold this too much against him. They were absolutely in it. Oh man, and this is the year that I swear Georgia was going to potentially be just a tick behind where they have normally been, but they looked pretty good. It was a
Yes,
high
they were.
scoring slugfest between two top 10 teams. Physical, fast, explosive plays, kind of all the things you want to see in a good football game.
Yeah, I was not ready for a shootout. I didn't expect it to be
Right.
like Texas, Kentucky type of slow, but I mean 43-35 was not what I had on my bingo card. 55 total first downs, 552 combined passing yards, but the biggest gap in this game was rushing. Georgia ran the ball for 221, Ole Miss only had 88 yards. And Gunnar Stockton, he might be making a push to be in the Heisman discussion. He's not really up there for me yet, but he had an awesome game, 26 to
Great
41
outgame.
passing for 289 and four scores. He also had Georgia's longest rush of the game, carried the ball for 59 yards overall. But this Georgia thing, their defense is not the
For a
same.
touchdown, right?
Yeah, he did score. He did score. And but the thing for Georgia for me, defensively, they're not close to the same that they were when they were winning championships. They got no sacks in this game.
Hmm.
Their defensive front and their pressure and their havoc, it's just not there.
Yeah.
And that's a problem for this Georgia team. It got them beat against Bama because Ty was able to throw the ball around. It will get them beat in other spots, especially on the road, if they can't disrupt opposing offenses.
Yeah. I was so impressed with Gunnar Stockton in this game. I feel like you can very much tell why Georgia moved on from Carson Beck, and that Gunnar Stockton was the heir apparent, particularly when you compare Miami's game versus Georgia's game this
Mhm.
year. But there was a crucial Ole Miss turnover in the red zone halfway through the fourth quarter. That kind of set up that game sealing touchdown for Georgia. I always find it interesting when a tight end is the big difference maker, but Lawson Lucky was a difference maker for sure. He had 3 touchdown passes or catches, excuse me. Um, that's pretty clutch, particularly for a tight end.
Yeah, I hadn't seen Georgia tight ends really get much use because Oscar Delp is still there, and I think he's an awesome player. But
Yeah.
obviously, Lucky's just as good as he needs them to be. So that was a big time one for Georgia. For Ole Miss's side, Trinidad Chambliss, I was worried about him in this moment because coming from Ferris State,
Never.
he has tons of experience, but he's never seen a crowd like Athens.
Mhm.
And his numbers are fine because of how explosive after the catch the receivers were. But
Yeah.
he was only 19 of 36, I think, was the passing. Like he wasn't quite as accurate. He wasn't as consistent. He did throw for one and still run for 2 touchdowns. He was still very productive. He outperformed what I thought he was going to do. But with that completion rate and just without a run game really there to support him, he was off his game a little bit. He was a little bit out of his rhythm. That Georgia defense, they have a ton to figure out, obviously, because they gave up 35 points, but they were good enough, or maybe the environment was good enough to have Chambliss a little bit on edge where he wasn't totally comfortable to, go get one more score. But to his credit, I mean, Ole Miss didn't get stopped until the fourth quarter, I
Yeah.
think was actually what happened. Like for Ole
Yeah.
Miss, if you have to score every single drive to win games, that's just not going to work. So their
Yeah.
defense really has a lot of holes to plug.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the fourth quarter is where your home field advantage just comes into play. And I do think that that was a part of the difference in this. They outscored Ole Miss 17 and nothing in the final quarter. And I also think that is credit to Kirby Smart. His teams finished better than maybe anybody in the country. I will scream from the rooftops. I think Kirby Smart is the best game day coach that is currently active in college football. I think he makes incredible adjustments. I do not ever want to be in a dogfight with him in the fourth quarter. You need to start beating him very early so that there is massive separation by the time that fourth quarter rolls around, because if it is tight, I would not bet against him.
Yeah, I have that exact same note in my sheet here that Kirby is the best in-game coach in the sport by a mile because if you
Mhm.
go through Georgia's games here, like that game at Tennessee when they were down by 2 scores, this game at Ole Miss, and what the hell I'm missing?
Alabama, I mean, they
Yeah, and just like but they lost that one, but I mean,
it was close to the
yeah,
wire.
but how many coaches are able to win all of these games that you're down by, a score or two in? And the other Auburn, which is the one I was thinking of. Like down by 2 scores on the road, how many coaches can really rally their team and make the adjustments to win these games? Now,
Yeah.
the other side of that obviously is why is it going down by 2 scores? But a win is a win.
Yeah.
And Kirby being able to do this consistently and win these games where they just feel like they're a step behind and they can't keep up, all of a sudden you blink and they're up by a touchdown
Mhm.
is crazy to watch.
Yeah, I mean, it is wild to see what it looks like when you have a coach that is good at making adjustments. Us Florida fans are very jealous. Hopefully, one day soon, that can be us.